All right, and we are live. Let's play some music and let's get started. All right, welcome everyone to a new episode of our leadership series. I'm starting this week with a beautiful and incredible guest, Miss Liz Coucean. Coucean, how do you pronounce your name?
Very close, Coucean.
Susan. Ah,
Yeah.
very nice. And it's Thanksgiving for you in Canada, so it's a day off. So we're so happy to get some of those vibes and to have you with us today. Welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm so grateful and thankful that you're having me on your podcast. I love your work and watching you and your interviews. So I'm so happy to be here.
Me too. I'm so happy that you have time to come and share with us. So, you are a transformational coach and a spiritual mentor. And I love the work you do with feminine leadership, feminine energy, and how to connect with our inner internal posture and until the rooted truth of us. So, can you tell us about the work you do and how you express that,
Yeah, thank
please?
you so much. Yeah, so I work both with men and women, but when I'm
Okay.
working particularly with women,
Mhm.
it's really a journey about coming home to your truth. The feminine aspect of us is really about the intangible. It's what you can't see. And so when we are conditioned to, build and accomplish and get all of these degrees and everything on the external world, and we're pushing and striving and moving towards that and
Mhm.
moving in a very linear way, which is wonderful and it's masculine, it
Mhm.
can very often kind of take us away from our true nature, which is there's this aspect of us that is incredibly receptive, incredibly connected to the unseen, the intangible, the
Mhm.
void, right? You think of the womb, it's that void
Mhm.
space, the
Yeah.
unknown. And it can be so hard for all of us really to live in the unknown,
Uh-huh.
to be in the uncertainty. And so chasing that certainty sometimes can just really have a negative impact on our bodies, on our minds, on our psyche. So I really guide women back home into their truth, aligning with their biological nature, being able to connect with God in a really internalized way.
Yes.
And yeah, create a life that really feels aligned and
Yeah.
vital and,
Mhm. I love that. And it's like letting go of controlling because we spend our day and our time checking on things. Am I getting this? Am I getting closer to these results? Is it happening? Is it going to happen? And
exactly.
yeah.
And it's you want to like grip in and try and
Yes.
feel, and that over time, it erodes a woman's radiance.
Yes.
The more she can really surrender to God, surrender to the unknown, and allow herself to receive
Hmm.
what wants to come through,
Hmm.
life totally shifts. But it's a big initiation. It can be very hard when we're conditioned in the opposite way.
Okay. So you said something very interesting is that you do this work for both men and women. And I think this is and I want to see your take on that because if I understand you well, there is the feminine energy in both sides if you bring them back to the same path. Is that how
Well,
you see it? Yeah.
ultimately, I do work different. I take a different approach with my male clients.
Uh-huh.
Other times it's more that they need to actually come more into their masculine energy and really
Okay.
root into their strength and their personal power and
Okay.
taking that direction. So there's a balancing. Every person is going to have kind of like a different starting point. And so really identifying, okay, the more that you're able to align with your own nature, your own dominant energy, right? The more that you're going to create a life that's very fulfilling for you.
Okay, so for men, we'll be like coming back to that dominant energy and being in charge, right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
for women, it will be more letting go and trusting.
Right. Which is a form of feminine power. A lot of times we think like, oh, letting go, oh, that means I'm not going to be in my, that's her dominant realm.
I love that. This is so beautiful. So
Yes.
feminine power, it's the letting go, basically. It's not controlling.
Right. It's being in trust and connecting to her inner knowing.
Yes.
Right. The intuition, it's the intangible. Men are fantastic. The masculine builds in the top side world, right? They build worlds. They build real estate. They build the home that I'm living in right now.
Yeah.
Right? They want to build, and the tangible. The tangible. But the feminine, she has this oracular gift, this oracular nature that is unseen, but it's so powerful. And so
Wow.
forget that women are like, oh, I have to go and accomplish the same things too. I have to go and
Yeah, that's what we do. That's what we think we should do. That's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So because we're programmed that way, we're programmed like we can go and do the same field, the same businesses, the same things.
Right, right. And I think that's where things kind of shifted, with the feminist movement is, of course, we want to have rights and we want to be able to vote. And so I'm not speaking to that aspect, but this aspect of in order to be as powerful, I have to do the same things that a man does. It's not true, because you're powerful in a different realm. And once I came back to that, because, most of my 20s, I was just really, again, wanting to like accomplish, have this, very glamorous career. I used to work in the film and television industry. And so
Nice.
looking
Nice.
externalized. I was drifting away from like, what is my deeper truth? And now so much of the work that I do in my practice is intuitively led, and that's what creates the real transformation is coming back to this gift that I didn't have to go to school for. No one could teach you this in the university, right?
That's true. Yeah. And what was the moment where you felt, there is Liz before and there is this Liz that I'm creating now? When
Right.
was that?
Oh my gosh. I think that's an ongoing thing. It's because I'm
Really?
continually
Yeah.
evolving. I'm continuing evolving. I'm evolving in my work. My practice is evolving. I'm evolving, and as my clients are as well. But I would say that there was this like nudging years ago that I'm like, there's just so much more than I think that I'm perceiving right now, and I have no idea how to get there. And there's just something inside of me that isn't fully being expressed. And I'll never forget that. Okay, I can pinpoint a very specific moment. There's this YouTube. His name is Hynd. He's a YouTube, like he's a spiritual mentor. He had like a YouTube channel.
Okay.
And I remember him. This was well over a decade ago. He just said, "You should be getting paid just to be yourself."
Wow, I love that. You should be getting paid just to be yourself.
Just to be
I
yourself.
love that.
And at the time, my mind was blown.
I was like, what is he talking about? Yeah.
How could that I have I go to school, I get a degree, I go up, have this career and etc. But at that moment, I felt the truth.
Wow.
And that is ultimately the root of my work now, is bringing people back to their authentic truth. And it took me on a long winding road, but I can say now that I I am simply being myself.
Oh, I love that. This is the
Yeah.
most beautiful thing. This is the
Yeah.
most beautiful celebration that you can give yourself, right? It's
Right.
like,
Right.
it's me and I'm just fully me. I
I'm
love that.
just being me, and I can have a beautiful practice, and I can be in service, and I can support others on their journey. And that is exactly what I'm doing now. And here's the thing. It was the looking for the answers that was kind of taking me off course. Setting the
Mm,
intention of, ooh, this is the life that I would love to live. I would love to exist and thrive and flourish and have abundance just for showing up every day and being myself, but
mm,
letting go of how it was going to happen
yes.
and
Yes.
trust the process.
I
Which
love this. This
a
is
lot
so
of
beautiful. Yeah, and it feels good. And I think everyone listening to us, it's really about finding yourself and your authentic truth and just be that.
Mhm.
No, no masks anymore. I think it's really time to just drop all the masks.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's interesting that, you've been in the filming industry where actually it is about being different identities and what brought you back to being who you are. That's incredible.
Right, exactly. Yeah, it was I mean, I worked on the corporate end. I was not in front of the camera or anything, which is kind of ironic now. I'll show up, live on camera, but I worked in the industry. I was behind the scenes very much so. But yes, your identity, and that's the thing. I'm running a mastermind on identity work right now, and
Okay.
identities can shift over time, but the identity is, you're stripping away, again, like you said, these masks, what I think is going to get me the outcome that I want. I'll perform and do that. And instead, just trusting that your innate design is enough. Go
Yes.
on a deeper level. The difference between what your soul desires and what your ego desires. When you're following what your soul desires, you can trust that you're going to be guided
That's true.
on that path.
Yeah.
When it's your ego, you're going in a different direction. And it
Okay,
could be
so let me ask you a question. So,
Mhm.
how do you know when it's your soul desire and when it's your ego desire? From your practices, from your work, from, the incredible journey that you have. How
Right.
can you express it, you think?
So when it's the ego, there's this force that I have to push.
Uh-huh.
I have
Yeah.
to really push, and
Yeah.
it's very, again, you need that level of control, kind of gripping. You're
Yes.
constantly like, how am I being perceived? When it's And when it's from your soul, it's just you can't hide it, really. It just radiates out of you, and it just happens organically.
Yeah, that's true. That is so true. It's like this leadership series. We were talking about that before our live. It's like they just come to happen. And I have this incredible women leaders who are just, so ready. And I'm so ready. And we're here having conversations that really shift the mind of everyone watching us. Conversations that can, like project some new way of looking at things and feeling things. And it just
Right,
feels so natural. Yeah.
right. And even how we connected too.
Yes,
I
yes,
felt your energy.
yes.
We were in a
And
program
yes,
together, and it just
that's how it works. It's really about letting your soul, as you say, guide you through what could be the next step you do. Yeah.
exactly,
I love
exactly.
this. It's beautiful. So tell us more about your practice and about your masterminds. How do you organize that?
Right. So
Mm,
again, it comes out very intuitively.
okay.
I will put out an offer before I even know exactly what is going to be happening. I won't even have a coaching.
I love that.
Yeah, I have
Okay.
sent out one of the first groups that I ran quite a few years ago now was called The Sake of
When
Feminine.
was that? When did you start
It
your
was,
as a
oof,
mentor,
I
as a
had
spiritual
already been
mentor?
doing my coaching and mentorship for a couple of years. I think this was in 2022,
Okay.
if I'm correct.
Uh-huh.
So I sent out a newsletter to my community, and I was just channeling. I'm gonna run a group about connecting to your sacred feminine energy. It was like 3 lines, 3 sentences that they just flew out of me. I had
Yeah.
nothing else planned. I didn't know how long it was going to be. I didn't know when it was going to start. I didn't know the price,
Incredible.
investment, nothing.
Mm.
And I sent that out, and 3 people were immediately, I'm in. Liz, I just feel like I need to be a part of this. And I'm like, great. I don't even fully know what it is yet. But again, it's that connection. Do you see the unseen field
Yes, it's the yeah.
that
Because
they're
and it
following?
is the unseen field. It is. It's
Yeah,
unseen. Yeah.
they're following their intuition too. My clients come to me, they're like, Liz, I just feel as though you have something for me that you can.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's very much a co-creation. And
Okay.
it just happens synchronistically. All of my clients, they come in a very aligned way. I don't do ads. I don't push. They're just drawn from whatever avenues, and we just find each other. And it's like very much these soul connections. So
I love
there's
that. This is incredible. You're articulating what spiritual business mean, because business is spiritual, but we don't say it. But it could be so spiritual. Thank you, and so much value. It is. There is so much value here. That is so true, because it is very. There is some part of business that is so spiritual, but we don't talk about it. And I love the way you are presenting it and talking about it today, because a lot of time we don't go chasing clients somehow comes to us. You become a magnet to this. But when business becomes a magnet to that, that's the question, is like, when is the time a business feels that, okay, now I'm ready to say that I am aligned, because somehow i am I am vibrating at the right frequency, where I become a match for every client that is looking for my service at that very moment and at that very place. And yes, I
Yeah,
love
exactly. That's exactly it. So those are the unseen forces. That's when I feel like God is really working through. Uh, there was a saying, I forget who said it somewhere, but it was, you know, your business, yes, is one of the most spiritual aspects
it.
of your journey if you're doing this work. Again, there was no title when I was in my early 20s and going to school. There was no, oh, you can really just be yourself and you
Mhm,
will be supported.
mhm, mhm.
You will be
That's true.
supported in your career.
Mm.
And yeah, there's something very beautiful and very holy and humbling about, again, just trusting
Yeah.
that the right people are just going to come and you're going to know what to do and to say, and it's all just going to unfold organically.
Yeah. And it's so true. It's like, and when we start school, and we really want to be the best in whatever we do, and we work hard and we do that, then you go to exams, then you apply to other things. But you got to trust that at the right moment there will be the right professor, the right mentor that would just come and tell you, maybe this direction is good for you, maybe this is going to be good. But that doesn't depend on anything. It doesn't depend on your hard work. It depends on the luck that you have created on your path and on your journey.
Right, right, exactly. And that's when your life force really starts to, you're not wasting your life force like pushing
Yeah.
and forcing.
Yeah.
And that's how you create feminine magnetism.
Uh-huh. Yes.
Just you get to just thrive in your beingness and trust that it's coming to you as opposed to going out and forcing it to happen.
Yes, I love that. That's how you create feminine magnetism. It sounds so good.
It does.
It
It,
really does.
it really does. It's not always easy.
Yeah, but you suppose it's supposed to be easy, isn't it? Isn't it supposed to be yourself? Like, isn't it embedded somehow in us as a woman that you got to have that inside of you?
Yes.
But
That
why?
is the
Mm.
easy part, but the ego can make it challenging.
It's not easy because of the ego. Yes. Okay.
Because
Yeah.
the ego's like, that's not, I don't know. The ego does not want to be in the unknown.
Yeah.
The
The ego
ego,
will always be asking questions and like doubting you, making you doubt.
right.
And the moment you doubt, then magnetism is probably gone somewhere.
Exactly. It cancels out the magnetism. So it's really rooting in faith. And that's what that yielding, that surrendering is really all about. Submitting
Yes.
to higher power. And it's not being powerless, it's actually the opposite.
Yes, yes. So basically, we understand that the magnetism, we have it in us, but the moment you let the ego start creeping in and you're giving it space a little bit too much, then it cancels out any
Right.
force that could turn you into a magnet.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So that's a lot of what we do in our work is coming back to trust,
Uh-huh.
right? Back
Mm.
into knowing there is a safety inside of coming back to your authentic truth, and that you're
Mhm.
ultimately like you're okay, you're held.
Yes.
You're part of something much bigger than your own individual self. And I think that's what we're realizing now, I think in these times is like there's a huge shift on our whole planet
Mm.
happening.
Mhm.
So
There is a whole shift in the planet where we are going more towards the trust.
I think of it, it's it's at different stages, but I think collectively there is this awakening happening where people want to be connected to something greater than themselves in a deeper way. And that's what I see is really kind of shifting on more of a global scale is this desire for authenticity, this desire for truth,
That's true.
coming back into understanding like the truth of our nature, which really is union. Like this is the bigger, we're doing work maybe one-on-one with our clients, and it can feel very individual, but I think collectively that truth is coming back, like that inner wholeness. You see that reflected in an outer wholeness, an outer
Yes,
acceptance of others and acceptance of others' opinions and
that's
and
right.
other people's.
Hmm. I love that. And I think you have a lot in it that is so true. There is a coming back to who we are and to connecting with the human behind the other person and understanding the human. And once you have that, then there is more trust, there is more love that we start sharing. Yeah.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
conversations like these, we want more of them because it just brings back business that has used to be so rigid and so uh, in shaped with the masculine paradigm into the letting go, the trust,
Exactly.
into being guided by a force bigger than us, by our own alignment. Yeah.
Right.
Mm.
Exactly. Exactly. And I think it's so beautiful. It's such a beautiful path for
Mhm.
women to be able to take, that you don't have to do it the way you were necessarily taught in business school, right? In
Yeah,
business university, you're not follow your intuition,
they
trust.
don't tell us that. Nobody tells us that. No.
It's all strategy. It's all, really
Calculation and numbers and focus, focus, focus. Yes.
exactly. Exactly. So
We are shifting the paradigm completely. Like we are almost claiming a new way of looking at business as a spiritual aspect of it, as an art, really, because I like to say how business is an art, because it is. When you put it as an art, then it's creative, then it's connected to something bigger than all of us, right?
exactly. Exactly. It's so much more than just yourself. And I'm such a creative person, and I never thought I'd be able to mix the two. I just thought business is the opposite of art,
No,
you know,
but it's,
and it's actually
yeah, like
same.
everybody, but it's not. It's not.
Exactly. Exactly.
Business is an art. Business in
Exactly.
our program, in fact, in the BAL method, we have one of our signature programs, which is the art of business, because business is an art. And I am a strategist, right? All my whole life has been as a business leader and a strategist. But today I feel like it's all about how you can bring that intangible that we've been talking about today into that way of doing business.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And that's exactly even how our bodies function, right? Like within we hold the space even through our womb
Yeah.
for creation,
Yes.
right? So when we allow ourselves to just be seated by what God wants to move through us,
Uh-huh.
we become a creative channel. And again, that is what is drawing, people are going to be drawn to that.
Yes.
And so this is such a beautiful aspect of business that I don't think is talked about enough.
Yeah, and this is why we're talking about it here, because it's a good take on how to do business. It's a good take on it's okay to talk spirituality. It doesn't reduce anything about your intelligence or your wit in doing strategies and making strategies at all. At all.
Exactly. No, and there's not, this is, there always used to kind of be this stereotype when I started doing this work. It's like, ooh, it's a little bit, to use the term like woo woo or whatever. And we're seeing it more and more now. People are openly talking about this spiritual, more intangible aspect of the work that we do, which I think is so beautiful.
Yes, absolutely. I love that. So I always ask my guests when they come about their own definition of leadership and what does a leader mean. So what is a leader to you for you? And what's leadership means to you, Liz?
Gosh, that's a really big and good question.
Yes.
What does leadership
Yeah.
mean to me?
Yeah. I think it's the work you do. It's the path you take.
Yeah, it's really being in alignment. There's a level of self-trust, because when you're self-led, you're not following anybody else. There's no other person who is telling you what to do. So it's really between you and God, right? Especially it's choosing to go first, choosing to make a move that no one else. So even at that example I gave you, the very first time I ran, this group offering, I didn't even know, again, you're normally taught, oh, if you're going to run a course, you have to know exactly what you're going to be doing every single week. Da, 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 da. I just intuitively moved, and that felt I was leading myself.
I love that.
Right? I'm choosing to do
Beautiful.
things in a way maybe other people were doing it, but I didn't know that they were doing it that way. So
Mm.
I'm just okay. I'm just gonna go and do this thing, and it's scary and it's unknown, and I don't even fully know exactly how it's all gonna come together.
That's
But
okay. I'll make it happen.
yes, creates that. So I think that's what leadership means to me.
I love it. This is such a beautiful definition. Thank you so much. We talked about so many beautiful things today, but spirituality, about the beautiful work that you are doing. You are incredible. You are an inspiration and you are a leader because of sharing all of this. This is like it's almost bringing a new definition of what business is. And
Thank you so much.
thank you so much for being with me today. Thank you, everyone, for being with us. This was delightful. Thank you so much, Liz.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everyone.
Thank
See you
you,
soon.
everyone.
Oh, voilà. This was so good.
Yeah. Oh, my